Then go through the whole thing again.
Well, I don't have the camera this time, so I suppose I gotta share my, do I gotta do this camera then?
It's some pizza, guys.
Do what?
Pizza.
No one can see you. Oh, God. Now you see the picture of yourself? Dang. All right, well, that's gone. All right, so have you guys done this? This testing thing? So this is all we're gonna do tonight. We're just gonna spend some time testing.
I took a practice test this afternoon.
Yeah?
On Udemy,
Yeah,
and I thought it was pretty good because I recognized most of the stuff, so we've covered it.
nice.
And it was they have 4 different tests. I paid $20 for them. You can take them as many times as you want.
Okay, nice.
Questions?
125 each.
So Udemy, 125 questions each, 4 tests.
Udemy, the teacher's Thor or something.
Yeah, 4 tests and how much?
It was, well, I
20
got
bucks?
2 tests or 2 blocks. And
Yeah.
they were like $19.98. But there's 2 tests in each, which I didn't know that. So 500 questions, you can take them as many times as you want, and there is a review to go through them at the end, so
Good. And what did you score?
60.
Need to work on it.
Yeah.
That's not gonna cut it.
No, I'm not even close.
It's gold.
They do call me #truth.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was pretty good for the first try.
Oh, for first try, yeah, maybe. But you're, any of you have your exams scheduled yet? Target dates?
End of June.
By the end of June.
End of June?
July.
July?
I went online and the first available was like July 8th.
The first available is July 8th?
Right.
Or maybe
Okay.
July then.
Maybe I have to fish in June.
But I would suggest that if you're truly planning on doing this, to go ahead and schedule it. That'll force your hand, because now you got money on the line, and those days will just keep counting off, because I do see a lot of people who, do this and then don't take the exam. And, you kind of got to hit while hitting the pan is hot, or what's the saying that they use?
Fire is hot.
Fire when the pan is hot or something. Fire the pan while it's hot. I don't know. And I'm a procrastinator, so I wouldn't do it at all if I didn't just put it in there. So July, it looks like, is the earliest.
At least 2 of the sites that I looked at.
Okay.
Around here. It was July 8th was the first available.
And hopefully people can hear me online. I don't even know how to look, because my guy's not here. My guy,
The AV guys.
my guy. Brad's. Oh, I hear somebody. So somebody.
That's me, Evan. We can hear you fine, I think.
Yes, that's Lori. Have you guys met Lori?
Hi, Lori.
Yeah, you'll meet if you come here. Well, Lori's working a lot, so she might be with clients, but we do like visitors. So stop by sometime. You'll get to meet Lori. Lori's one of our most experienced security analysts. Been around for a long time, seen a lot of things, got some good stories to share. But I think other people that have been. You guys saw Chad once. Chad Spoden. Chad, probably our FISA expert. So FISA is the assessment that we do. And then obviously Brad, but there's a lot of really cool people here. Yeah, so come see us if you want. We've got games. Do you guys see that? Ping pong? Anybody good at ping pong? No? None of you? Oh, son of a gun. Well, that's a strike if you're ever going to fly here. No, it's not really. It's not a strike. What?
Foosball?
We have foosball. I'm not good at that. My wrists don't work that fast. Yeah. But ping pong. I was talking to a guy today. I'm interviewing people for the board of directors for Security Studio. So you've got FRSecure and then you've got Security Studio. And so one of the guys I was talking to, really experienced investment banker, and he was showing me kind of some of the companies that he had brokered deals for before. And one of the companies was Jask Software. You guys ever heard of Jask Software before? We made PaintShop Pro. You ever heard of PaintShop Pro? PaintShop Pro was, back in that time, you had PaintShop Pro or you had Photoshop. Photoshop was $800, PaintShop Pro was shareware. So PaintShop Pro, was a great video editing software. Jask Software made a great living with that and then sold to Corel in, I don't know what year it was, 2004, maybe 5. And you guys know Corel, right? In my opinion, probably one of the worst run companies like ever. Because they, whatever, it's a long story. Any French Canadians? Okay, Corel's in Ottawa. A bunch of French Canadians up there. All right, let's see if my mouse gets over here. So let's get, where's my mouse? I don't see it. Do you guys see it? It's over here. Up, over, all right. Let's do you remember how we did it before? Help me out.
I think you went to new quiz.
New quiz. All right,
And you can select the domains or random.
okay. All domains, since we've been through the whole book, should we do them all? Test mode, study mode, what's the difference?
Study mode, give you the answers, explain the answers or.
During the test, rather than waiting till the end? Okay, I say we do at least one test mode tonight. Let's see what it feels like not getting coached kind of through the quiz or the test. So we'll do study mode for now. What's this other stuff? I can't even read it. Choose quiz mode. What the hell? I can't read it.
Test mode or study mode.
All right. Let's choose them all. Pro, is there a higher one?
Since you don't have the camera, do we want to turn your desk so you can face that way?
Yeah. One guy brings pizza, another guy has a great idea.
Engineer.
What's next? You're an engineer. All right, yeah, let's do that. Then I won't be able to see your pretty faces. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Look at this, I can read.
You don't have to wake up with a sore neck.
No. All right, so here we go. Oh, let's turn the lights down too. So you can see it better. This isn't like that slide. Better? Yeah, because this isn't like the slide things where it's a little brighter. All right, Pro. Let's see if we can go better than Pro. Pro is the best we can do. I don't know, Expert or something? No, that's the best. 15. It's because
Nobody
it's
move.
yeah, it's a stupid auto thing. How much time? We got plenty of time. What's middle one? What do you mean? 100?
Just don't move.
No, with the light.
Oh,
No move.
should we do 100 questions? 75, 50. We'll start with 50. Question type all? Sure, why not? Questions that were answered wrong previously. All right, let's go ahead. Generate quiz. All right. I've never done this this thing before. Let's make it a little bigger too. No, forget it. Which of the following items would provide the best strength when it comes to protecting confidentiality? Using your mouse, put them in the proper order with the most secure at the top and the least secure at the bottom. So we have triple DES, AES with base 64 and DES. Which one's the least secure?
Least secure, yes.
Think so?
What is, then,
Base 64 is just encoding.
yeah,
That's
it is secure.
64 is the top? Then what?
No, I think it's most secure at the top.
Oh, is it supposed to be most secure at the top? Okay.
AES up there.
AES.
Triple DES. And DES.
like so.
Yay!
Oh, and it tells you right here. Ah, look at that. Well, that was easy. An X.509 public key certificate with the key usage attribute non-repudiation can be used for which of the following? Verifying signed messages, decrypt encrypted messages, encrypt messages, signing messages. Remember what non-repudiation is?
Verifying signed messages.
Yeah. It was just- Tear
Non-repudiation
it out of the wall.
would be to,
Yeah, so this feels good like this. It feels like,
You're like part of the group.
yeah. Which one?
top one?
Verifying
Verify
signed
signed
messages. Can be used for which of the following. Well, it's either verifying the signed messages or signing the messages. The certificate itself would be used for signing the message though, right? Not verifying. Public key. No, it would be verifying because it's public key. Right? Because private key would be signing it. Right? Make sense? All right, let's see. That's 2 in a row. I'm ready to go take the exam, you guys. Radius incorporates which of the following services? Authentication of clients and dynamic passwords generation, authentication of clients and static passwords generation, authentication server and PIN codes, authentication server as well as support for static and dynamic passwords. Remember Radius?
E?
Which
I'm
one?
gonna say D.
I was a D.
D? Why? Because it's the longest one?
Nope.
All right. There we go. So Radius, remember, we usually use that for remote access. That's the RA, and actually Radius is remote access. Dial-in user service, I think is what Radius stands for. In the TACAX Plus, you remember that discussion? That those are all similar. In regards to testing of software, which of the following is an advantage in using a bottom-up versus a top-down approach to software testing? Interface, does it say errors?
Yeah.
Were detected earlier? Confidence in the system. See, I gotta get glasses, man.
I think it's out of focus.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm blind and I can't read it.
Confidence in the system is achieved earlier. Errors in critical modules are detected earlier. Map functions and processing are tested earlier. Major functions.
D? I think either confidence in the system or major functions.
Major functions and processing are tested earlier. Errors in critical modules are detected earlier. Confidence in the system is achieved earlier.
I'd say D.
Interface errors.
I think C.
C?
That's my guess.
Errors in critical modules. Do you remember the top-down approach versus the bottom-up approach? All right. So what would we say? C or D? In
They
this
seem
consensus.
similar.
They are similar. I would assume that interface errors would be detected earlier, but
But I mean, wouldn't that be from the top?
Top is bigger.
are we asking top-down or bottom-up?
Using bottom up versus.
Advantage C.
So if you're starting at the
Rule
bottom-
1, and you take the test, I guess, is read the question. Right. So bottom-up. I was thinking top-down. Sorry. All right. Confidence in the system is achieved earlier. Errors in critical functions are detected earlier. Major functions and processing are tested earlier. I don't know. C? Go with C? There you go. We're like 4 for 4 right now? Which of the following would be best defined as the likelihood of a threat agent taking advantage of a vulnerability? A countermeasure, a residual risk, an exposure, a risk. Exposure would be a function of the vulnerability, but not taking into account the threat. So exposure is basically how much is exposed. And that would be, if you used exposure or exposed with vulnerability, that would be a good D? Yep, and why not A? Why not B, I'm sorry.
Well,
That'd be like a
It's
secondary.
tough, ain't it? Huh?
That'd be like a secondary impact, or after you address the primary, that'd be what's left. Residual risk?
Yeah, residual risk would be the risk that's left over after accounting for the control.
right, the likelihood is the risk.
Well, likelihood and impact would be the risk, which is the function of the vulnerability and the threat. So yeah, I agree, it is D, but residual risk would be applying a control and then what's left over, so maybe applying a mitigating control. There's really no discussion.
If you had an
between
additional
control.
risk left over from addressing the initial risk.
Yeah. And risk is one of those kind of pet peevish words for me because people use that word all the time and they don't know what it means. Right? So that's why I'm kind of a nitpicker on risk. Just me. Which of the following is the weakest authentication mechanism? Passphrases, token devices, passwords, one-time password. Yeah, that's a pretty easy one, isn't it? Question 7, what is it called when a computer uses more than one CPU in parallel to execute instructions? So more than one computer, multitasking, multiprocessing, multi-threading, parallel, what does it say, running?
Yeah.
Okay. What is it called when a computer uses more than one CPU?
You?
B, right? Multiprocessing, multiple processors, multiprocessing. Yep. Now there's symmetric and asymmetric multiprocessing. Do you remember the difference between those two?
Back to it.
Yep.
One way and two way.
Yep, one way, two way, yep. So you might see something like that. Frame relay uses a public switched network to provide local area network connectivity, wide area network connectivity. I'm sorry, what does that say? Work area network? World. Wide area network connectivity or metropolitan area network connectivity?
See.
C, yeah. This is a piece of cake, you guys. We're kicking butt right now. Which of the following, this is pro? It's easy, like. We should do like a 5-question easy one. And then just basically you only get, in your multiple choice, you just get one choice. Which of the following access control models require security clearance for subjects? Role-based access control, discretionary access control, identity-based access control, mandatory access control. What's that?
Mandatory?
Mandatory, yeah. Yeah, and that'll be a key sort of, I mean, that's just a foundational sort of thing, you know, subjects and objects and just understanding, you know, what each of them are. When you talk about clearance, that usually means it's associated with the policy is enforced by the system, so there's no discretionary, it's mandatory.
It requires.
Yeah, yep. Which access control model would be the best example of a lattice-based access control model? Do you remember lattice-based? Least upper bound, all that crap. Mandatory access control, discretionary access control, non-discretionary access control, and what does it say, role or rule? Rule-based access control. C, yep, I agree. What do you guys agree? We'll see if we're right. No. Which one does it say? Rule? Discretionary. Mandatory. There you go. See, non-discretionary, when you get mandatory, non-discretionary, and discretionary access control, and I always get the non-discretionary and mandatory sort of mixed up. But there you go. Now we no longer have our perfect record. Question 10. Which of the following is not a common function of a firewall? Limit security exposures, protect against viruses, enforce organizations' security policy, log internet activity. So it's not a common function.
B.
B? And nowadays, everybody's got a multi-function. So, but in the traditional sense, it's true. Which of the following devices enables more than one signal to be sent out simultaneously over one physical circuit? Channel service unit, digital service unit, or data service unit, a multiplexer, WAN switch, or router?
B?
Multiplexer? This should give you guys confidence. Just read the book about 4 or 5 more times and you'll be ready for the test. Which of the following should not be accessible by a computer operator? Operations, documentation, computer console, information security guidelines, source code. Source code, yeah. Which of the following common data network services is used to send and receive email internally or externally through an email gateway device? Mail services, file services, client server services, print services.
Tough one.
What the hell? This question seems so obvious.
Sometimes it's like.
Somehow one of the easy ones made its way into the pro.
You could tell they were getting too hard.
Oh, there's so many words here. In this type of attack, the intruder reroutes data traffic from a network device to a personal machine. This diversion allows an attacker to gain access to critical resources and user credentials such as passwords, and to gain unauthorized access to critical systems of an organization. Pick the best choice below. Network address sniffing, network address translation, network address supernetting. Is that what that says?
Yep.
Network address hijacking. So reroutes traffic. That's the key to this thing.
Isn't it D?
D?
D.
What would be this?
It would be D. Yeah, A is a passive attack. So this would be an active attack because the intruder is actually doing something. They're not just listening to something, they're doing something. So rerouting traffic is an active attack. A sniffing attack is just sitting on the network, like the promiscuous mode. It's a passive attack. Network address translation isn't really an attack at all. Network address translation is, you have the firewall. We went through over 3 types of network address translation. We went through port address translation, the pool, and then the one-to-one, whatever one that one was. And then supernetting, we never even talked about supernetting. That would be the opposite of subnetting. So when you take an IP address range and you break it down into smaller networks, that would be subnetting. Supernetting is going back the other way. You would do that in routing to try to make your routing tables more efficient, but we didn't cover any of that. So it is, that. Make sense? Because all the secret keys are held and authentication is performed on the Kerberos ticket granting server and the authentication servers. These servers are vulnerable to neither physical attacks nor attacks from malicious code. Both physical attacks and attacks from malicious code. Physical attacks only, physical attacks but not attacks from malicious code. Secret keys are held. Do you remember how they're held? One of the major setbacks for Kerberos.
You have the key granting authority.
Yeah. The ticket granting service. But these are, remember that the keys are held in plain text. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So, and the truth is, everything, if you've got physical access to anything, it's only a matter of time before you compromise it. So physical applies to all of them.
So it's B.
Yeah, I think it's B. Yeah. So 15 out of 16 so far. The TCSEC, do you remember which one that one is? Rainbow Series Orange Book.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Long now.
That wasn't the red book?
No, Red Book is TNI. That's the Trusted Network Interpretation. Yeah. So TCSEC is Orange Book. Which which TCSEC level is labeled controlled access protection?
Three.
I don't remember. I'd be guessing. I would say it's C2.
Because they don't go up to 3 if I remember right. I don't know. I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
this is one of those things you're just gonna have to, I know you've heard us say it a billion times, you just have to memorize it because it's not used anymore. Yeah. Oh God, there we go. Which TCSEC level first addresses object reuse?
B1.
C2. C2. C2, right?
B something, C something, I don't know. Chances are better with Bs because there's
I'm
3
gonna
of
say
them.
B is.
Yeah,
B1?
First level.
No.
Uh-oh.
What's our next guess? B2?
No.
Nope.
Oh.
Yeah. So now we're down to 16 out of 18. And that's just, yeah, it's not, all the TCSEC stuff, you can just drop it from your brain after you're done with the test.
At least that was
The
only
theory is
-1,
very
not
good.
-4.
What's that?
At least that was -1, not -4.
Right, yep. We'll see if we get another TCSEC question again. Which of the following European Union principles pertaining to the protection of information on private individuals is incorrect? Data collected by an organization can be used for any purpose and for as long as necessary, as long as it is never communicated outside of the organization by which it was collected. Individuals have the right to correct errors contained in their personal data. Records kept on an individual should be accurate and up to date. Transmission of personal information to locations where equivalent personal data protection cannot be assured is prohibited.
A.
Right. Yeah, you got to sit up there too. See, we're both blind. According to the Orange Book, oh God. See,
We know it's not C2.
this thing knows, right? According to the Orange Book, which security level is the first to require a system to protect against covert timing channels? B2, B1, B2, A1.
B2?
Covert, it's gotta be C, right?
See, Lori might even helped write some of this. I don't, so she probably knows. I'm gonna go, what did he say?
B2 maybe?
B2?
I'd say B2.
B2, ready? Nope. Nope, B3.
Yeah, they go up to 3.
That's like a vitamin. All right, well now we're what, 17 out of 20?
Another one.
Oh, it's picked up on us now, it's got us.
I guess this is a sign, Evan.
Oh,
Go B2 this time.
B2, yeah, let's just keep going B2 till it's right. Yay! All right, we're 19 out of 21. Which of the following is the primary reason why a user would install a dial-up modem connection allowing remote access on his desktop when the company offers faster, more secure internet connection to the organization network using VPNs? To set up public services using the organization's resources to access websites that blocked by the organization's proxy server, to circumvent the organization's security policy and mechanisms to check their personal email.
Wow.
Which of the following is the primary reason? So the primary reason out of all of these would be to circumvent, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
The others are more specific. I mean, all, the B and D are within C, right? And you wouldn't set up public services through a VPN, through a modem. You're not gonna have people accessing your stuff, like having a website on a modem connection. So what do you think? C? Yeah. Which of the following was developed as a mechanism to allow simple network terminals to load their operating system from a server over the LAN? DNS, DHCP, ARP, or BootP?
Would be.
Boot P. Yeah. Which of the following best defines a computer security incident response team, CSERT? An organization that coordinates and supports the response to security incidents. Okay. An organization that disseminates incident-related information to its constituency and other involved parties. An organization that provides a secure channel for receiving reports about suspected security incidents. An organization that ensures that security incidents are reported to the authorities. A. A. I concur. Doctor? Well played. Business continuity planning is not defined as a preparation that facilitates the continuation of critical business functions, the reduction of the impact of a disaster, the monitoring of threat activity for adjustment of technical controls, a rapid recovery of mission critical business operations. C. Which of the following protocols offers native encryption? IPsec is common across all, so is SSH, SSL, PPTP, SSL, PPTP, TLS. So MPLS, L2F, and L2TP don't have encryption built in, so B is not correct. TFTP is a UDP protocol, nothing there. Yeah, A, right? You guys agree?
Yep.
Excellent. So the following best describes the TCP handshake. Remember this? Send, Synac, and act back.
C.
C.
Yeah. And those are important, like especially when you're doing like different port scans and things, you'll throw different flags, you know.
Firewalls, stateful firewalls. It's important.
Yep, absolutely. And like I was talking to I was walking by one of the more junior pen testers like last week or a couple weeks ago, and you could tell he was just frustrated. And I'm like, well, what's going on? He goes, my Nmap scans are showing that all the ports are open. I can't figure it out. And I was like, throw different flags at it, man. You know, see what, because different network devices will give different signatures based on different network traffic, right? Sometimes you can exhaust all of them and you still won't see a pattern. But, you know, try different flags. Try, you know, because if I send a SYN packet on all open ports, I would expect to get a SYNAC back, right? And that would be just a simple SYN scan. If the ports are closed, I'd either get nothing or I'd get a reset, potentially, you know, reset packet back. What happens when I send all the flags on? That's called a Christmas tree, right? All the flags are on. What do I get? Some, you know, we used to crash systems back in the day when I actually pen tested. I don't do that anymore. But, you know, it's good to know the different flags, specifically in TCP packets, because they're the most common ports we're scanning for is TCP ports.
So are all the ports open in his pen test?
I don't know, I just gave him direction and walked away. Yeah. Well, sometimes you get to a point where it just none of your automated scans are working, so then you just script. You have to script something. You'll have to script timeouts, right? So attempt a connection to this port. Wait a timeout. Attempt a connection to this port, because if like port 80 is open, but sometimes a firewall will identify that this is a single IP that's scanning multiple ports, so then it'll give you this funky stuff coming back. But if you mimic a normal user, so you know, then it will respond back. So you know, you just try a connection on port 80, try a connection on port 81. So it's just a lot slower process. You know, I'm assuming you probably went that route.
Maybe that firewall had any.
I have a story. We just finished up an incident response on the ISP who maintained the firewall for this customer inadvertently put in an any rule. And the machine, it took, we don't know for sure how long it took for it to get compromised, but it definitely, they noticed within 2 days. So in 2 days, so we did the investigation, we found 4 attackers in that system at the same time. They were all there. Crazy. So any, yeah, no any. All right. A message can be decrypted and digitally signed, which provides confidentiality and non-repudiation, confidentiality, authentication, non-repudiation, and integrity, confidentiality and integrity, confidentiality and authentication. So it's encrypted for one. That's definitely going to give us confidentiality, right? Which is the same all across. And then digitally signed. Do you remember the digital signature?
So that non-repudiation.
Non-repudiation. It'll also give me integrity and authentication.
Okay.
Yep.
Because we trust that certificate.
Yep. 29, you're trying a new product out that can encrypt files, which can then be mounted and appears to as a disk drive on your computer when it's unlocked. As you install the product, you are prompted to randomly run your mouse around and generate some random data for the application to use. What is the randomness called in the crypto world? A block cipher, random cipher. What's that one?
Entropy.
Entropy, and cryptographic randomness. I don't remember us covering this.
Random, sorry.
D?
I'm gonna B.
What's that? D, you say?
B.
B? Yeah. No,
Try D.
D then.
No, C.
Block. I honestly didn't know that one. So, all right, so we're 3 down, 26 out of 29.
Yeah.
Entropy, what is entropy? Is that what it actually is? I don't think it's a word in my vocabulary.
Well, now you have to use it.
I do totally have to use it tomorrow.
Oh. Lack of order or predictability.
Oh, that's
We're going
cool.
to physics.
Yeah, there's a
Physics definition.
thermodynamic definition.
Thermodynamic quantity representing the unavailability of a system's thermal energy. Lack of order or predictability, gradual decline into disorder. I don't like it. All right, sorry, too low. All right, it's gone. Which of the following statements related to password management is not a valid statement? Passwords should be changed periodically and don't take into account current password crap guidance right now. Yeah, don't take that. Users that have forgotten their password must contact the security administrator. Initial password may be allocated by the security administrator or generated by the system. Passwords must not be unique to an individual. Yeah, there you go.
Real sure.
But I think you'll see questions like that too. You'll see that the double negative type questions, and so you just have to be careful to read the question, all the way through. Which of the following option incorrectly describes PBX feature? Automatic call distribution allows a PBX to be configured so that incoming calls are distributed to the next available agent or placed on hold until one becomes available. I can't read it. Tenanting provides the possibility to break into a busy line to inform another user of an important message. Voicemail stores messages centrally, and by using a password allows for retrieval from inside or outside lines. Diagnostics allows for bypassing normal call restriction procedures.
B.
B. B.
Yeah. Should have been like barge or
Yeah.
Barge.
Call barge.
coaching, sometimes it's called.
Yeah. And I doubt you'll see, I'd be surprised if you saw a PBX question on the exam because most of them have been replaced now. There's still some out there, but I don't think anybody's studying up on PBXs now and nobody's getting,
Never took option
yeah, right? Which of the following statement incorrectly describes asynchronous transfer mode technique. ATM is high-speed network technology used for LAN, MAN, and WAN. ATM works at session layer of the OSI model. ATM uses cell switching method. Data are segmented into size cell of 53 bytes. Yeah, it's definitely B. It's a layer 2 protocol. So layer 2 being Datalink. Oh my God, really? Seriously.
And I
Tired
think
of
we found that when the question isn't in bold, it really has no bearing on.
These controls forcibly prevent users from violating policy through hard logical and physical controls. So prevent users from violating privacy. It's like right there. I'm not reading all that crap.
No, I think where the description isn't bolded, it really has no bearing on the question that's in bold. When it is bolded, it does have bearing.
You think that's going to be that way?
I
in the
think we
exam?
found that to be true.
Okay. Well, this one's easy to run, right? It's like right there, prevent. Did you guys have any questions on that one? Because I didn't read all the words, and I feel like I cheated you out.
If it's not bold, it's not important.
Okay. When the attackers know the algorithm used for encrypting the message, but they do not have the message, this is known as unknown chosen plain text attack, chosen plain text attack, known plain text attack, known cipher only attack. So they know the algorithm, but they do not have the message. Which one do you say?
D.
Is that a cipher attack?
Sheep.
A known cipher only attack? Known plain text, chosen plain text, unknown chosen plain text attack. Well, I don't remember that being an attack, but whatever. No. Unknown, what's that?
Tracy.
See? When attackers know the algorithm used for encrypting the message, but they do not have the message, this is, so what they don't, when they say the message, they don't have the plain text. They have the cipher text. So it's not a known plain text attack. Chosen plain text attack? I don't know. No, maybe it is. No. Why do I do that? All right, so chosen plain text attack. Oh, I suppose because you can choose your own messages, right? So I don't need to have the message to do the crypt analysis, I guess. That makes sense. Because you can just, if you know the algorithm, you'll just run your own text too, and you're trying to get the key, right? Jeez, which thread would the encryption of all network traffic mitigate? Which threat would the encryption of all network traffic mitigate? Keyloggers, network intrusion devices, sniffer, random hash generators. Sniffer, right? Which of the following terms describes the failure of an electric utility company to supply power within acceptable range for a long period of time? Such a failure places a strain on electrical equipment. It may limit their operational life or even cause permanent damage. Brownout, sag, blackout. What's the last one? EMI. Okay, yeah, it's not EMI. What's that? So you got, is it
Long period.
failure? Failure of an electric utility to supply power.
Power within acceptable
Acceptable
range.
Within acceptable range. So the power isn't out.
Right.
So that would be a blackout. This would be a brownout.
Sag or brownout.
Yeah, and you have to memorize those. I think those are classic questions for the CISSP. Which of the following, do you know why on this stuff? The sag is a short period of time. Brownout is you still have power. It's just dipped for a long period of time. Blackout is it's out, right, for a long period of time. And so if you read into this, it didn't say that the power is not there's no power at all, it's just not within an acceptable range. And then EMI, that's electromagnetic interference. That's usually something you get crosstalk or something like that on network cables and things.
Bathroom fan?
Bathroom fans, yeah. Bathroom fans on an old token ring network. Which of the following level of CMMI focus on process definition and process deployment? So level 1 was initial, level 5 was optimizing. So we know it's not 1 or 5. There's a 5 there. 3, yep, I agree. That's it. And this, if you did memorize, you'll actually use it in the real world, right? People still use, it's a popular model. Which of the following media is most resistant to tapping? Fiber optic, twisted pair, coax, microwave.
Fiber.
Yeah. Before conducting a full interruption test in a production environment, which of the following is most important? Document expected findings, restore all files in preparation for the test, conduct a successful parallel test, arrange physical security for the test site. Before conducting, which of the following is most important? Well, I can tell you what I would do. I would definitely run a parallel test before I did a full interruption test. I assume the book is going to agree
I
with
want
that.
to get the management to sign off on it.
Hell yeah, I would. And I'd update my resume,
Yeah.
store it off site.
That's why you arrange physical security for the test site so management can't get in there.
Right?
It'll last for so long.
Yeah. Have I told you guys I've said that? I'm known for saying that when we do an incident response. You know, what do we do? Well, update your resume first, and then we'll talk about what to do next. That's the cool thing about being a consultant. Like, if you get fired, you're not really fired, right? You still get, unless you did something like really, really stupid, but yeah.
Still assign someone else.
UPS, I didn't read it yet. Devices which supply power when a commercial utility power system fails are called which of the following? UPS, power dividers, power conditioners, power filters. Yeah, that's the best answer. UPS. What number are we on? I'm gonna scroll up. 41. Which of the following is true of two-factor authentication? It requires two measurements of hand geometry. It relies on two independent proofs of identity. It uses the RSA public key signature based on integers with large prime numbers. It does not use single sign-on technology. So the best one is B, right? Which of the following is defined as the most recent point in time to which data must be synchronized without adversely affecting the organization, financial, or operational impacts? Is that point of time objective, recovery time objective, critical time objective, recovery point objective? If you see data, it's going to be recovery point objective, because it's how much data you can afford to lose. But then it says, yeah, because this is the most recent point in time to which data is synchronized. It's got to be D. Yeah. I don't know what critical time objective is. Recovery time objective and point. I mean, really, that's RTO and RPO are the only two that are actually a thing there. You are concerned about physical security after devices turn up missing within your environment. Which of the following could help you prevent the theft of devices and equipment? Lockable steel cables, tracking devices, firewalls, full drive encryption.
A.
Yeah.
Physical device is missing.
Yeah, you're talking about devices, not, it doesn't seem like the concern is data here, right? Which of the following which of these threats to web applications occurs when malicious JavaScript, VBScript, ActiveX, or other code is entered as unvalidated user input and results in dangerous dynamic content. Attacks against Microsoft IaaS servers, attacks against Apache web server misconfiguration, cross-site scripting. D. Which of the following is a common network scanner used to reveal hosts with their open ports and what their states are? Is it ZenMap over there? ZenMap, what's the second one there? SSH Mu, SSH Rule,
SSH Nuke.
curl, and Nmap. So two of those, definitely ZenMap and Nmap, are, Nmap would be the most common. I say Nmap. ZenMap is a Windows version. It's just Nmap wrapped in a GUI. But Nmap is classic. It's the one. Still very. Fyodor created that a while back. They actually, I came across an article I'd written. What the hell magazine was it? It's one of the old-time hacker. I gotta find it. It's one of those old-time hacker magazines.
2600?
Yeah. Yep. When I did do pen testing, I wrote an article on all the ways to use Nmap, and it was published in that. It was pretty cool. Did you know that what day is it? It's May 18th. Was the 21st anniversary that Loft gave their public testimony in the Senate hearing. It was the first time hackers had ever been interviewed in the government setting. Every year I try to remember that, and then I go and listen to the testimony because it's amazing. So if you get a chance to do it, I can send you the link too if you want to, if you remind me. You listen to the testimony and then think of what we're facing today. You'll realize in 21 years, it's the same crap.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got into information security. So that was 1998. I got into security in 92, but I was not these guys. I mean, these guys were elite. Fyodor made Loft crack. They were the Loft. That was their group. So you've ever heard of Loft, L0PHT? These guys were awesome. I mean, but they, yeah, anyway. So it's really interesting to listen to that and be like, it's the same, I mean, talking about the same things that we fight today. Nothing's changed. It's crazy.
Means we haven't improved
No.
enough.
Well, my theory, and I was talking to somebody today about it, I think technology goes so fast and security is an afterthought that security never gets the opportunity to catch up. We keep innovating, creating new things, and then security just falls, you know. It's not that it's falling behind. We're making progress, just not as fast as the other side's going, you know. So the same problem, those same core problems are still there. Which of the following types of firewalls monitor traffic to spot unsolicited connection attempts from an untrusted network to a trusted network? Monitor traffic, okay. Circuit level gateway firewall, packet filtering firewall, stateful inspection firewall, bastion host firewall.
C?
Spot unsolicited connection attempts from an untrusted network to a trusted network. C? Yep. 47, which of the following answers is not associated with WPA, Wi-Fi, protected access, security, technology for wireless networks? Dynamic encryption keys, let's say ICV.
Yep.
Uses CRC32, pre-frame sequence counter, TKIP. How many bits does it say? 128, okay. So not associated with WPA.
C.
Dynamic encryption
All
keys.
static, right?
Which one?
A?
Where's the one?
Yeah, okay. Do I show it? We did just show the answer. Did they show you more when you do this?
It explains it.
Oh, dang. Why haven't we been doing this? All right. Integrity check value or hash sum is a small, yeah, no, 32, okay. All right. Makes sense. Okay. I think we're losing our, what's the magic? 48, what data classification level indicates that information should stay within the organization but not identify as proprietary? Internal, is there an internal, private, confidential, sensitive, public? It's definitely not public, right? So is it sensitive, confidential, or private? Confidential is probably the most sensitive of those, maybe? I'd say
Not identified as proprietary.
not identified as proprietary. Which one did you say?
Private.
Privet? Oh, yeah. Which of the following is a basic way to defend against ARP poisoning? Disable the ARP protocol. Well, that ain't gonna work. Static IP addresses, static RARP entries, static ARP entries. Be static ARP entries. So do you remember what ARP does? It takes the IP address and resolves it to a MAC address. And the way ARP works is it's a broadcast. It's basically, hey, who's got this IP address? And then whatever system on the network has that IP address will respond back, say, I've got it, here's my MAC address. And then they'd start communicating with the MAC address. The problem is there's nothing to stop any other computer from responding and saying, hey, I've got it. And then that's the poisoning piece. So now it's being sent. So if you do a static ARP entry, it's basically this IP address gets this MAC address. So there's no ARP broadcast then. Does that make sense?
Is that done in the router?
It'd be on the host.
Do people actually do that?
Yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah.
I mean,
It's
that'd
an
be
easy
different than a
attack.
static address, right?
Oh, do people actually do static ARP?
Yeah.
No.
It's
I know.
not impossible.
I thought you were asking, do people actually do ARP poisoning?
Yeah,
attacks?
yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, no, it's easy to do. It's a command line entry, but no.
Just
I've
sounds
never, I
impossible
wouldn't
to
do it.
manage.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. I guess you could do static ARP entry for like the gateway, maybe, the firewall. Because that would be a common ARP poisoning target, right? Because that way I can get all that traffic that's going to the firewall to come to me as well. So, I mean, if you're going to do one, maybe that one. But now, you know, there's lots of mechanisms built into protocol stacks on devices that don't allow you to do it anymore. I bet you could do it at Caribou. Yeah,
You know, one at Starbucks.
we can do it at Starbucks too, probably. In the risk assessment process, there are some tool that you use that's really easy to use it is Kane Enable. Yeah, super duper easy. In the risk assessment process, there are some techniques we can use to conduct the process to identify critical assets which must be protected from compromise. Which risk assessment process ranks the potential of a threat as low, medium, or high? Quantitative, so quantitative is not low, medium, or high. Quantitative is hard numbers, values. This is a subjective assessment because it's low, medium, high. Those are subjective terms. Risk avoidance, it's nothing with that. Risk mitigation, this is clearly a qualitative risk analysis. Yeah. Assuming I didn't miss a double negative somewhere in all that words, but that's what I'm going with. Boom.
Do we pass?
Well, we got 50 out of 50 because we got to keep checking your stuff. Yeah, so, yeah, we passed.
You can submit your answers for free.
Oh, do you have to do that? Oh, okay.
See what happens.
Let's do it. Okay.
That was just how many we answered.
Looks like we're ready for
I
the
guess
test.
they were all right.
What do we do? Do we get them right?
Yeah.
We should do test mode.
Mhm.
All right,
We're ready.
for an hour, let's take a quick break. Then we're gonna do another one. Because I think when we do our next class, which is really not even a class, we're gonna eat meat. That's what we do. We're gonna eat meat and then we'll, spend some time together, exchange contact information if you didn't already. And then we'll go through a quiz together. And we'll just, because you'll want to, keep doing quizzes, do lots of quizzes, get used to just the quiz thing. But I'm gonna take a break quick because I gotta pee.
So,
So when I lock my computer, that's gonna disconnect these people, isn't it?
I won't do it. Yeah, you're gonna have to trust us.
You?
I'm watching that.
You watch this.
go Pete
Now,
for
when
him.
you come back, I'm,
Okay, well, you don't have a computer that much, so.
make sure no one touches it.
All right, so you're responsible for this. We're gonna take 5 minutes.
Sometimes people hide drinks, like in the little wood thing in the bathroom. I don't know what's up with that, but I've gone into the bathroom before and there's like drinks.
In here?
Yeah, in
At
the
our house?
bathroom.
Anybody else on
Drink?
pizza? Or
It might
just
be
on the
me.
fridge for people?
I might have just put it there and forgot that I left it there. What?
I'll do another piece.
You didn't get any?
No, I can't. I'm not taking cards for it. No, I'll just take. Yeah, no, so I'll just slide this stuff on your
Not carbs. I had to take notes to do it back in the day.
I was gonna say, I'll throw the rest in the fridge for whoever's some tomorrow.
So just do this. Stuff will wash.
So then you're just opposite,
My mom would
my-
get mad at me.
you're opposite of my son.
Oh, is he all carbs?
He just likes the sauce on the crust.
Well, then here, take this one.
No, he said,
That's the best part,
What is the best part?
just taking the cheese and eating the crust.
I'm totally good. If you guys ever listen to our podcast, that's where we're recording. Right there. Brad. Fishbowl. We're starting to sort of get better at it. We're 28 episodes in, so we better be.
You'll have to hang it by 40.
What's that?
You'll have to hang it by 40.
Yeah, maybe. All right, we're back.
Is this one of those pay sites that you test?
Yeah, I was looking at signing up for this because Brad is raving about how good it is. But I think for $10, I think for $10 you can get access for a week, and then it increments up in time, like a month.
$60.
It gets really expensive, but for a whole year, I think it's $129 or $149 for the whole year, but it gives you access to not just X tests, but like 20, 30 different like industry standard tests, like all the different certification exams. So if you're gonna go for another certification after.
For the
this.
master's program?
Yeah. Plus it asks more
That's weird.
questions than
Yeah.
some of those
Oh,
other tests.
it's really weird. A lot of weird people there too, with, like weird titles. CISOs, chief security architects of something or another, there's some bankers in there. Half the people would work at the U.
So if you're the odd man out,
There's some other, like, kind of normal people in there. I don't know if that's the right word. Yeah, we have like predetermined groups and it's help desk manager at the U is in my group, another systems admin, a guy who does forensic banking, so he just goes around chasing money. A lady who does something with Healthcare insurance on kind of the security side. So, yeah. Oh, and a guy who does physical security from All America. It's a little weird back and stuff there.
He still has a job?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's interesting. I mean, I love, doom and gloom. And storytelling, it's just storytelling for 4 hours. It's fun.
That's how many years?
One.
Okay.
So it's 2 nights a week, 5:30, 9:30 classes. So. Lost my name tag. So. Just stupid. Well,
You lost your name tag already?
yeah, like I went to pick up my stuff and it's gone. So, I don't know. Big plastic name tag. So.
Did the teacher collect them all so they'll have them for the next class or what?
So, I'm just gonna grab mine.
Can you make your own?
Might try.
You guys all been on site the whole time?
Oh, we meet here.
Yeah.
I do some things in the
Except for the snow day, I didn't come in that day. I think there were only, what, 2 in class?
Yeah, I was one of them, and I forget the guy's name, the F-250, who is not here tonight. It was his first class showing up.
Too many distractions of them.
I have a door I can close.
I attended all of them live, except for one. I just watched the next day.
Yeah, apparently there's hundreds of people who are listening.
Yeah, but you can't tell.
Right. All right, no one touched it.
How many people are
No
still
one touched it.
online in the class?
69.
Good.
70.
And one more.
77. We went from 532 to 77.
Oh,
Wow, 5:32.
552.
Yeah.
You mean on average or last week?
That was how many people registered.
well, you were for sure though?
Yeah.
No.
So, yeah,
Used to?
attrition
Used to.
is pretty
It's
fast.
polygenic, so.
I thought you had a short culture on the Monday.
All right, so now we're going to do pro. We'll do another 50 questions. We'll wait for him to get back, but yeah, all domains. 50
Test
questions.
mode?
Yeah, oh yeah. Is that up here? Did I miss it?
Yep.
All right.
I thought the
And no more of
preliminary
that.
tests were a lot harder because everything that could be an acronym was.
Yeah.
So you had to, a lot of them, I didn't know what they were even talking about.
Really? Questions that were answered wrong previously. What is that? Oh, is that like adaptive mode? Or like if I get one wrong, you're going to send me another one and send me another one kind of thing? Is that how the real test is, do you think? Let's do it.
Oh, so all your quizzes that you've taken,
Oh, boring.
if you had any
I don't want
wrong,
Under unattempted questions only. Okay, so we shouldn't see any new ones. Shuffle answers to questions. Yeah.
timer?
Audio and activate timer.
Yeah.
What's so the real test is what, 150 questions now?
That was 125,
125, 3 hours?
3 hours.
Okay. So 50 questions would
I
be,
thought it was 250.
It's adaptive, right? So some
Adaptive,
people
so-
take
that's
more.
true, that's true.
If you
All
don't
right,
do
we'll
well,
do a timer,
screw
just
in
to
the
add.
beginning.
I think some of them were like 100 to 150 that I've seen on that. CISSP, some of the guys, people that said, oh, I had 132, 151, 103.
I had 250.
All right, yeah.
You're out of there, right?
Yeah, so-
250.
Yep, 250 questions, 6 hours. Fill in
Circles.
the circles with a pencil, number 2 pencil. And I had to go to somewhere outside of Milwaukee to go take the exam.
Round deer.
Yeah, somewhere over
Living
there.
here, you had to go there.
Yeah, because you had to go where the exams were, and they were only in certain places in the country. There was not, you didn't have, it wasn't part of Prometric or anything.
I actually proctored this test in about 2001 up at Century College.
Did you really?
Yeah. It was, handed out to,
Yep.
they were all sealed up. And
You had to put everything, you had in your possession
Yeah.
on the back desk. And then you could take a bathroom break, and you could get, you could have a snack, but you had to, go to the back of the room and have your snack and then come back. But, it was, if you knew your stuff, you would get done with the exam in just a couple hours,
Yeah,
I don't know anybody who actually took the
Nobody
full
stayed
6
there
hours.
that long.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird because I had to read the instructions on how you get the test.
Yeah. But the worst part is you had to wait 6 weeks
To
to get your results.
Someone had to score.
So as soon as you took the exam, when you took the exam, you're like, yeah, I felt like I did pretty good. I think I'm good. But then your mind starts playing tricks on you, like, well, remember that one question? Yeah, I don't know. And then, 6 weeks pass, you're like, I don't know if I passed it, to be honest. And then you get the thing, and it's like, of course you passed it.
Do you know if Prometric was that company involved with the cheating scandal?
Oh, the college entry
Yeah.
cheating thing? I don't know if Prometric was
They're like
part of that. I don't think so.
testing centers, so.
Yeah, I don't think they were, because I think it had to do with, I think the academic cheating had to do with the actual admissions departments of schools.
No, I heard that. I heard actually at the testing site, someone
Yeah.
would come in and like.
Really? Wow.
Somebody would help take the test.
That's the one with those 2 Hollywood star people?
I mean, because that's all secure, I don't know, like, obviously it has to happen behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm sure. Everybody's got a price.
You gotta come in and give them your license.
Yeah.
The person accepting the license could be on it.
And how many times have you given somebody your license and they haven't even looked at it? I'm sure that happens too. Even TSA. Some TSA places, you go to TSA and they're like,
It's like your credit card.
and then others are like, there you go. They
Happens a lot more
don't even
often
look at
than
you.
19 or 20.
They didn't even look at me. All right, let's do it. So it's gonna be so it'll take us through the end. And then, did Brad give you guys a discount code for this if you wanted to use this testing? Okay. All right, let's do it. Oh, this is a different one. What the hell? Started off with something funky. Drag and drop risk assessment includes some formulas. Oh, here, these are good. You want to memorize these for sure. You must be familiar with, for your exam below, you have a formula for a single loss expectancy. However, there's a portion of the formula missing. Using your mouse, drag and drop the appropriate value in order to complete the SLE formula. So single loss expectancy is exposure factor times asset value, right? So there's asset value, exposure factor, boom, right? Where's that? Oh, it's way over here now. What the hell is going on now? Where's my,
You gotta scroll up.
really? Oh, this is, which of the following Wi-Fi standards would offer the most security? Using your mouse, put them in proper order, starting with the least secure at the top and the most secure at the bottom.
Open AP will be first.
Open AP,
What? Just
whip,
WPA,
WPA,
enterprise.
WPA. Yeah? All right. Yeah, easy. ISO IEC 27001 2013 is the standard for evaluation criteria for the validation of cryptographic algorithms, implementation and certification of basic security measures, information security management system, certification of public key infrastructures.
C.
Yeah, it's the ISMS. 27002 is those management techniques, 27005 risk management. So you'll want to know those. Was it 23 is the disaster recovery, business continuity one, whatever. Yeah, 27001 is the ISMS, which is not a suitable method for distributing certificate revocation information. Distribution point CRL, certificate revocation list. OCSP, is that what this is? Online certificate status protocol. Delta CRCP, CRL, CA revocation ranking list. Which one? Okay. Yeah, all right. I don't know what the OCSP, I don't know what that is. I really think it's that one.
Go with B then.
B.
Go with your heart.
Go with my heart. Watch yourself, yeah, I don't. Which of the following is not an EPA approved replacement for halon? Bromine FM 200, Energen FM or FE13. Not an EPA approved replacement for halon.
I think bromine.
I'm sorry, which one?
Bromine? I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Energen FE13R. I'm not sure about FM2.
FM200 definitely is approved. Those are those big orange tanks that you see in data centers, and those are really common.
I mean, isn't all the NRCS usually orange tank?
No, it's red. FM200 is red. It's a red tank with, and you'll see the nozzles are brass and they're pretty prominent. Oh boy. The ISO OSI layers are in which of the following orders? 1 to 7.
A.
So Datalink network session transport present.
A.
Yeah, A.
Do not
Which one's out of order here? Application, presentation, session, transport. Data link and network are mixed up on this one. Application, network, presentation. Presentation's supposed to be up here. Network's supposed to be here. That one's all messed up. Application, presentation, session, and transport are messed up again. Yeah. Related to information security, the guarantee that message sent. The message sent is the message received with the assurance that the message was not intentionally or unintentionally altered is an example of which of the following.
Integrity.
Yeah. One of the following assertions is not a characteristic of Internet Protocol security. Data is delivered in the exact order in which it was sent. Well, that's definitely not. That's your answer, but we'll go through the rest of them. Data cannot be read by unauthorized parties. The number of packets being exchanged can be counted. The identity of the IPsec endpoints are confirmed by other endpoints. Yeah, it's a packet switch network, so that's never going to happen. What is the result of hash algorithm being applied to a message? A digital signature, plain text, ciphertext, and a message digest.
C.
A hash will create a message digest. The MD5 was the first, one of the most popular kind of hashing, and it's named after that. It's a message digest is what the answer is. It's definitely not plain text. It's not ciphertext, it's a hash, which is actually different than a ciphertext. Because a ciphertext can be unencrypted, right? It's encrypted and unencrypted. Message digest can't be reversed. It can't be unencrypted. It's a one-way function. Digital signature has a hash in it, but that's not what the question is. Which of the following statements pertaining to biometrics is false? User can be authenticated by what he knows. Well, man, it sucks when they put the right answer right at the beginning because you still have to read them. You still need to read them all. You know what I mean? You got to get in the habit of doing that. User can be authenticated based on behavior. So that would be like your key stroke thing and stuff. User can be authenticated based on unique physical attributes. A biometric system's accuracy is determined by its crossover error rate. So that one's it. Making sure that the data has not been changed unintentionally due to an accident or malice is, there's our data change again. Which of the following are not remote access concerns? Access badges, justification for remote access, regular review of access privileges, auditing of activities. So you'd want to do all three of those bottom ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which of the following is not the most secure firewall implementation? Dual homed
Is.
firewall. I'm sorry, is. See, I just put a not in there?
Yeah.
Which of the following is the most secure firewall implementation? Dual homed, screened subnet, packet filtering, screened host.
Screen.
I think it's screened subnet. Right? It's where you got a firewall and a separate firewall. That's my answer. Do you guys agree? Remember those our firewall architectures that we went through, the bastion host, the screen subnet, screen host, and a lot of other stuff? The dual home firewall is the least secure of those. Which of the following LAN topologies offers the highest availability? Bus topology, partial mesh, full mesh, tree. Full mesh, yeah. Which of the following technologies has been developed to support TCP/IP networking over low-speed serial interfaces? VDSL, is that VDSL or XDSL? XDSL. T1, SLIP, ISDN. SLIP. Which of the following provides coordinated procedures for minimizing loss of life, injury, and property damage in response to a physical threat? So that's a recovery plan, business continuity plan, incident response plan, occupant emergency plan. Yeah, it'd be the occupant emergency plan. That's just one of those fringe plans as part of, I mean, it's integrated with the business continuity plan, but it'd be an occupant emergency plan. Do you remember that picture? Yeah. Let me just read the question again, make sure I didn't miss a not. Yeah, that'd be it. Which of the following protocols' primary function is to send messages between network devices regarding the health of a network? ARP, Address Resolution Protocol, Reverse Address Resolution Protocol, Internet Protocol, or Internet Control Message Protocol? ICMP. Yep. ICMP would be sending those packets like source quench, which means, there's congestion. Do not fragment. If you've got a do not fragment flag and the message is too big, you'll get ICMP is the one that'll send you the message back. ICMP is for diagnostics, the echo and echo reply messages. Yeah. Yep. What is called an exception to the search warrant requirement that allows an officer to conduct a search without having the warrant in hand if probable cause is present and destruction of the evidence is deemed imminent. Evidence of admissibility doctrine, exigent circumstance doctrine, exigent probable doctrine, exigent, what's that last one? Evidence circumstance doctrine? This should be
Probable?
It's actually the exigent circumstance doctrine. Did we cover that even? It's in the book probably, is it?
That would have been like in the first couple of classes that we did.
Pretty sure that's the answer. We'll find out. Government agencies create standards which are usually applied to companies and individuals within those companies. What category of law deals with regulatory standards that regulate performance and conduct? Administrative regulatory standard, compliance law, conduct law?
Okay.
Yeah. Which SSL version offers client-side authentication? We didn't really get into this one, did we? Very much, yeah, 2. Which of the following protocols does not operate at the network layer? OSPF, that's a routing protocol, definitely operates there. ICMP is that Internet Control Message Protocol, that also operates there. TCP is not a layer 3 protocol. And RIP is also a routing protocol, so yeah. How many rounds of substitution are used for DES?
48. Well, isn't it technically 64, but the first however bits are actually just added?
Yeah, the first 16 were something special.
That's the effective key strength, I think. The rounds, how many times it goes through?
Might be 16.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I'd say 16. You know, do you guys, anybody remember that exactly? All right. Let's go with 16. If it is 54, then I'll buy you a piece of pizza. Which of the following is a proximity identification device that does not require action by the user and works by responding with an access code to signals transmitted by a reader? A magnetic card, a transponder, a passive system sensing device, a card swipe. Proximity device does not require action. Works by responding with an access code to signals transmitted by a reader. Now the best one there
Transponder.
would be the transponder. Yeah. So this would be one of those contactless cards, like this one. You know, yeah, it's not, I mean,
So
it's
yes, responding to a signal transmitted.
yeah. Which of the following categories of hackers poses the greatest threat? The ones we employ.
Disgruntled employees.
Criminal hackers, corporate spies, student hackers, disgruntled employees. This is, I do not like this question at all. I mean, it's so subjective. Disgruntled employees. Yeah, I would say disgruntled employees because they have, but are they a hacker? Do you ever think of like somebody who leaves the company as being a hacker? All right. I would, you know, that this is the biggest threat of the 4 because they have insider information already. PINs, passwords, passphrases, tokens, smart cards, and biometric devices are all items that can be used for authentication. When one of these items listed above, which is actually below, all above, I suppose, is used in conjunction with the second factor to validate authentication. It provides robust authentication of the individual by practicing which of the following?
Two-factor.
Two-factor. My gosh, you could have gotten to that answer a lot quicker than that. A blank is a mechanism for providing secure, reliable transport over the internet. RAS, VPN, diameter, TCP. VPN? You have deployed voice over IP phones in your corporate network and you want to protect these communications against sniffing by encrypting the traffic. You also want to provide message authentication integrity as well as defending against VoIP spam and replay attacks. Which protocol would support your needs? AES, RTP, SRTP, right? SRTP.
SRTP.
The only three that are, these are all three are VoIP protocols. And truly, I mean, if you really want to do that, why not put it in a, an AES? And why not encrypt it too? You can do that. Actually, I think does SRTP use AES? Yeah. But does it use AES? I don't know. That's the right answer anyway. Which of the following statement correctly describes difference between packet filtering firewall and stateful inspection firewall? Packet filtering firewall is a second generation firewall, or stateful is a first generation firewall. Packet filtering firewall and stateful firewall do not maintain any session of client. Packet filtering firewall and stateful firewall both maintain session of client. Packet filtering firewall do not. Am I missing that? Am I reading this wrong, or is this how it actually says?
I think it's D.
Packet filtering firewall do not maintain client session, whereas stateful firewall maintains client session. D. It's hard to read when they're supposed to be like plural and there's not plural. Which of the following techniques are not useful for protecting data at rest? Encrypting file system, temporary layered security, hardware security module, trusted platform module.
Okay, so TLS is wrong because it's temporary layered security here, right?
Yeah, that's not the right TLS.
So
Right,
that's
transport.
It should be transport.
Yeah. Oh, did you have another question there? Oh, I can't go
No, I thought
back.
that was wrong because it said, well, you can't go back.
I can't. What was I supposed to do?
I thought that was wrong because it said
Temporary.
temporary instead of transport.
It is wrong though. It told me to choose the not,
It would still be right though, because that's for in transport.
even if it was
not
the
rest.
right TLS
So even
name.
if that was a mistype or typo.
Yeah, because it was data at rest encryption. A common threat can exist when changes are made on a network device, but the time between when the changes are made and on one system and when they are propagated to other systems is known as forced log-off. What? Lag. Out of band signaling, time of check, time of use, time synchronization delays. C. Yep. What is the main characteristic of a bastion host? It is a firewall. It is a hardened computer implementation. It is located on the internal network. It is what? It does packet filtering. B. Yep. Proprietary business information unique to the company has been found in competitors' new product. They're in violation of which property law? Trademark, trade secret, patent, or civil?
Trade secret. Doesn't say anything was registered.
Yeah, it doesn't say there was any patent registered. Is there anything else in the top?
It's either C or B.
Yeah, there's no mention of patent anywhere, so it's got to be trade secret. Yeah.
It's in their new product.
Yeah, I would say it's It's gotta be trade secret because there's no mention of any patents being filed.
We had an employee that just jumped ship and went over there 6 months ago.
That happens a lot. What is the name of the protocol that is used to determine the revocation? Oh, see, I did get that one wrong then, because if that is an actual protocol, what is used to determine the revocation status? OCSP. Is that really a protocol? Online status of certificate server, validation authority, certificate revocation list. It is CRL.
CRL.
I say I don't think that is a protocol. I'm going CRL.
Oh, yeah.
What's Brad doing replying to emails right now?
OCSP, Google says it's a protocol.
Yeah, but Google lies. I don't trust
That would
Google.
have been the answer to it.
It would have been the answer for that?
It says online certificate status protocol is an internet protocol used for obtaining a revocation status on the X.509 digital certificate.
Damn it. Well, you'll get that one right on the test. then.
Bus.
Identify the LAN topology network diagram above. Star ring mesh bus. Which of the following network device only repeater? Viewing baseline security controls and selecting only those controls that apply to the IT system you're trying to protect is referenced to as summarizing, scoping, standardizing, talking? Says
Tailoring.
tailoring, okay. Scoping? I seriously can't read any of this. Is it hard for you guys to read, or are you guys like picking this up no problem? Am I blind? I am? It's time
Good
for,
thing you're not facing
It's your
the light.
ankle, I'm sure it's pain.
it's time for retirement. Which of the following is true about Kerberos? Utilizes public key cryptography as a second-party authentication system. It encrypts data after a ticket is granted, but passwords are exchanged in plain text. Depends on the symmetric ciphers. Passwords aren't exchanged in plain text though, with Kerberos. Second-party authentication system that uses public key cryptography. Depends on symmetric ciphers.
Is it the symmetric ciphers? Because the keys are handed back and forth in plain text. It doesn't hit the public keys.
There's no certificate authority required for Kerberos.
I think B.
Which one, D?
Yeah.
All right. Now you're not gonna go look something up and tell me you got it wrong, are you?
No, I'm done.
Could have been the second one.
Which of the following is not a logical control when implementing logical access security? User IDs, access profiles, passwords, employee ID badge. The ID badge should
It's physical.
be considered a physical control. Which of the following statements correctly describes the difference between IPsec and SSH protocols? IPsec works the network layer, and SSH works the transporter layer. IPsec.
Say D.
D?
Is it SSH layer 7?
No. SSH is a transport layer. Which one did you say? A? CSA?
Is IPsec transport?
IPsec is not. IPsec is network layer.
Yeah.
And SSH is transport layer, because that would be TCP port 22, right? That's its input. Am I right or am I wrong? I don't know.
It is port 22, but I think it's at the
Application layer.
application.
You want to do it? Let's do
I
that.
would say it's C. Or
C?
D.
You think it's C?
Or D.
D? C?
That's correct.
A?
Not A.
A, B, C?
Not
D?
looking it up.
D, C, B,
It's-
A,
SSH
A,
is at the
D?
application layer, it just
You can
uses
see
that
that.
port. It's got on the side cord as well.
All right, we're gonna go D, whatever. Which of the following RPC, Session Transport Data Network?
Those are PC.
I definitely know that one. Who can best decide what are the adequate technical security controls in a computer-based application system in regards to the protection of the data being used, criticality of the data, and its sensitivity level? Sounds like an owner thing.
Data or information owner.
Owner, yeah, those are all owner things. What is called the percentage of valid subjects who are falsely rejected by a biometric authentication system? False acceptance rate, type 2 error, crossover error rate, false true rejection rate, type 2 error, false rejection rate, type 1 error. So the people that are falsely rejected be a false reject rate, right?
Yeah.
What is called the access protection system that limits connections by calling back the number of a previously authorized location? Callback forward systems, send back forward systems, callback systems, send back systems. Callback systems, yeah. When secret documents are leaked to the media, this could be the result of an employee acting as an document exfiltration, disgruntled employee, internal DOS, insider threat.
It's gotta be B or D.
Insider threat. Disgruntled employee.
I think insider threat is probably the best one. It could be disgruntled. There could be money. There could be money.
Some money.
Exactly. Which answer is the process of moving packets within packets to be sent to the destination? That's tunneling. A hospital help desk agent receives a call from an irate sounding doctor who demands that his password be reset and given to him over the phone because a patient's life may depend upon him getting access he requests. What could be happening here?
Social engineering.
Could be bullying. Yeah, it could be bullying. If it really is a doctor. What does that say? Hoodie wink? See, I told you I can't read. It's not hoodie wink?
Hostile work environment.
I see hoodie wink. I'm pretty sure that says hoodie wink. On which of the following protocols does the tool firewalk or the technique firewalking will primarily rely on? DHCP, TCP, ICMP, ARP.
I don't know what Firewalk is. I don't
No
know.
I think it's firewalk port scanning? Just another. We're doing it. The typical computer fraudsters are usually, that's a word I don't use much, fraudsters. Makes me sound old. I'm gonna tell my daughter when I get home, my 14-year-old daughter, I need you to watch out for fraudsters. You young whippersnapper. The typical computer fraudsters are usually persons with which of the following characteristics? They deviate from the accepted norms of society. They smoke pot.
Okay, in Denver, so.
Yeah, I know. But they're deviants. They conspire with the others. They hold a position of trust. They have had previous contact with law enforcement. Usually persons with which of the following characteristics?
E, all the above.
I think C.
think, see?
Yeah.
The typical computer fraudster.
I didn't say
They're
anything.
usually
but
persons with
Yeah,
the
it's
following
like,
characteristics.
Characteristic.
Deviate from the accepted norms of, yeah. You can read a lot into this one, can't you? I mean, you can talk yourself into or out of every one of these answers. Yeah, the first time I went through it, I was like, it's A. But then you bring up like C, because, yeah, I mean, if you're thinking that way, could be that too.
Well, it's kind of like hackers were most commonly disgruntled employees and stuff.
But they don't necessarily hold a position of trust.
And that's,
They were an employee.
that
Do you trust
depends
all
on,
your employees?
Because like social engineering, you're trusting the person that they're giving everything away to most of the time. Those people calling about your Microsoft warranty expiring.
so if we read it this way, you know, to try to not read too much into the question, if it's, how about most computer fraudsters are, you know, or something, you know, similar, kind of reword it a little bit. Or most, you know, most computer fraudsters are like, you know, whatever. Because I think most of them, if they do deviate from society, right? Most of us are not fraudsters. So I would go with A still.
They break the rules.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer, but
Did you want to phone a friend?
that's second hand. What's that?
Phone a friend?
You want phone, Brad?
That was not worth it.
Brad would get just as many wrong as I do. We're cut from the same cloth. What is called the act of a user professing an identity to a system using the form of a login ID? That's just our identification, right?
Authentication.
What? I'm sorry? Identification. There's no proof, just professing it.
It's just your username.
It hasn't authenticated yet.
I'm still not authenticated, man. I've been here for 10 years. I'm still. In the days before CIDR, networks were commonly organized by classes in binary, which of the following would have been true of a class B network. The first 2 bits of a class of the IP address would be set to on, and the 3rd bit set to 0. Now, if that were true, 128 and 64 would be on. There'd be a 192. That's not right, because your class Bs are 172. Right, so that would mean the first 2 bits would have to be off. No, sorry, first bit on, 128, 64 off, 32 on. The first 3 bits of the IP address would be set to 1. That'd be 224.
Yeah.
You're right. The first bit of the IP address would be set to 1, and the second bit set to 0. That one seems a little closer. That actually is, you know, the answer. The first bit of the IP address would be set to 0. That would be a class A, probably. So you see, so I guess the bit orders, you know, that weren't really covered in the book do matter. So an IP address is 32 bits, noted in dotted decimal or quad, whatever. So it's 4 octets, 8 bits each. So in the bit orders, 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. You add them all up, it's a 255. So that's what they're talking about here. So the first bits of the IP address. So you remember the classical networks, the 10 network, 172.1.6, the 192.168. And I'm getting those mixed up with a little bit with NAT, yeah, with RFC, whatever the hell it is. But anyway, that's what we're talking about. So this is first 3 bits are set to 1, this one. And we didn't go through subnetting or any of that other stuff because you don't need to go that far. Which is good if you're a network. I mean, you definitely want to know if you're a network guy. Oh, geez, look, my computer quit. I don't know. We got some number of them right. So we got 45. We got 98%. That's not too bad. Huh?
Oh, we passed.
Oh yeah, and 90s. I mean, if you're
Review the
The first question?
No, review.
I'll
and
review all
answers.
the incorrect answers.
Where do I do that? Here?
Right there, yeah.
Well, we already know one because she looked it up.
Yeah, we knew that one.
And here it is.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
So that is an actual, there you go.
It is the mailing list here.
Why would you?
Isn't that what we answered?
No.
Nope.
Because it was which one is
Evan
not.
didn't think that was a legit program.
I didn't, I totally did. Yeah, so is there a summary? Which gives me the thing?
Summary.
Is it summary that shows
Details, maybe?
details? Oh, yeah, there you go. So words, and, more words there. You can see up there, I can't read any of it, but I'm sure there's probably some good words there. I see hoodie wink again. Okay,
Cool.
all right, you guys can read it. I can't. Review all questions now?
No, go ahead, down a little bit and click that. You can go to the next.
This?
Yep,
Or was there another one that I missed too?
there's 5 of them.
There's 3.
All right, there you go. SSL3 is the one that offers the client-side authentication. Do you want details on that one?
Is there even an SSL v4?
I don't
No.
It
think
goes
so.
to 3 and
Goes
then
to TLS, yeah. You guys want details on that?
No.
Okay.
There's
It is again, son of a. So we would have had,
Two of
we would have had 94% then. Yeah, okay. Sucks to suck. What's that?
Firewalk.
Oh, yeah, none of us knew what the hell that was. Let me Google it. Oh, wait, we got details, let's check out the details. Firewall, everybody,
Firewalk is a reconnaissance program that can
Scan.
tell which layer 4 protocols are being passed through a firewall.
all right,
So it's using TTL.
there you go.
one more.
Do
We
what?
had 5 wrongs, and we
What you did.
were clicking it,
I just did what you told me.
not all of them.
True.
Oh.
The trust.
It was trust.
Yeah, you were right. He got that one right. I'm blaming it on a dumb question.
What does the details say on that one? Oh, you're right.
But you see, you read so much more into that though. The typical computer fraudster are usually persons with which of the following characteristics. So then you get from there to it's a social engineering attack?
I know a lot of con men,
Well, I know, but there's nothing,
but you have to trust a con man for them to be able to take off a con.
no. You can con somebody, well, but where does that say con?
It doesn't.
But it's, if you look at typical computer fraudsters, it's not your major ones that are gonna be doing everything. It's gonna be, I think overall, you're gonna have typical, it's not.
I think it's a stupid
You're
question.
saying it's
I
your
think it's a
employees and they've been trusted enough to.
I think it's a
access
stupid
your
question and
system.
I'm not gonna lose a wink of sleep.
It's like, what is the norm of society? I mean, we've met hackers.
Well, what is
They're
normal?
people.
Yeah, but they're all
Yeah.
They're all
Everybody's
weird.
definition of
So
normal
is a
different.
fraudster someone who's internal and a hacker is someone who's external?
No, the hacker one before was
You
the
read into this one that this is a,
disgruntled employee, we got that one right.
Or this one says they hold a position of trust, but that means they're an internal
well,
employee.
see, I
Yeah,
don't
that's
believe
all
that.
that means, I think.
This is correct answer because in order to gain access to a system, they must have been given some form of access to begin with. That's not true.
I mean, like, some of the biggest attacks right now are people calling, saying, hey, I'm with Microsoft, your computer's broken, give me $300.
Hey, but where's that?
They'll jump on your computer.
They're giving
So you're
trust.
trusting that they're Microsoft.
Well, I know, there's a lot of attacks that do take
Yeah.
trust, but there's a lot of attacks that don't take any.
It just finds a hole.
I mean, like, spear phishing.
Yeah, I still think it's a dumb question. I'm gonna submit some kind of, I'm gonna sort of change.org thing on this. I signed a petition yesterday. I rarely do that. I just thought it would be fun. My mom actually sent it to me. She goes, you gotta sign this. And so I was like, all right.
They're gonna tell you why that other part wasn't correct, if you go up a little bit.
I don't want to do this one anymore. It's so hard on my
There,
brain.
right there, and previous, or which one?
The deviate from the.
Deviated from acceptable norms of society.
Oh,
Well,
we can't use
major
that.
fraudster deviates. The fraudster often holds a position of trust.
Everybody's had interaction with law enforcement.
And all of them.
Speeding ticket
Look at the
or-
first one.
right?
This type of individual is typically not a person in a position of trust within an organization.
I've had intimate run-ins with the police. Yeah, all right. Well, there you go. We still got 90. I mean, hang your hat on that, guys. It's not so bad.
That's assuming fraud happens from within inside.
Well, that's, yeah. I mean, I think if we would have gotten better questions, we would have probably gotten like 100.
Hopefully that one's on the test.
Can we do a joint test?
So what do we do now?
Be certified at the same time?
So by topic. Domain. What was our, we had all of our domains were above 80%. That's good.
Yes,
We had problems with the curb roads.
24 questions on the one domain, communication network security.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Yeah. It's not too bad. I mean, if you consistently take these exams and, you know, these practice tests and get 80s, you're probably ready. If we forget 90s all the time, well then, yeah, just schedule that sucker and get in there. You know,
What's
so
what's the coupon code for?
what is the coupon code? Do you guys remember?
FRSecure,
FRSecure.
all capital letters, is 10% off.
Yep.
For any of the, no matter what level?
Yep. Yep.
I say that with a lot of confidence, yes, that's what it was.
All right. Well, I would say in the next, we'll give you at least a week notice on when we're going to do the barbecue thing so that you guys can plan appropriately. We'll stay on a Monday, Wednesday thing because I know you're starting classes soon.
Did last night,
Those are not Mondays and Wednesdays, right?
Tuesdays, Thursdays.
Okay, cool. So we'll keep it on a Monday, Wednesday. If I were to guess, what's the date now? 22nd of May?
Yeah.
The hell?
Feels like April.
Where did May go? It was snowing last night, wasn't it?
July 3rd is not a good night for me.
All right, so July 3rd, guys? Maybe June. I would like to do June 10th. But you'll get a confirmation email from Brandon on that.
Hey, Evan, early in the class, someone had mentioned an online test for $25. They're wondering where that one was.
Udemy.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Udemy, UDEMY.
UDEMY. Thank you.
What a stupid name.
From the
What
event.
can I do with that?
Thor on security or something like that.
Thor on security?
Thor on IT, something like that.
Take it up.
Is it Tor teaching us or
He has
something?
a hammer and you get
All right.
questions.
Well, have a good night, guys. We'll look for the email from when we get, and everybody who's online that wants to come here, come. You know, there's no limit. Just have to make more food.
Is it a potluck? Can we bring?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to bring something, feel free.
Yeah, I'll bring some cornbread or something.
Yeah.
Even though you're a hot guy.
Yeah.
No, I like the hot guy.
All right. Hey, thanks again for bringing